Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Anne Marie, and this is AM Astro. Today, we are going to look at the aspect that no one is talking about. But first, we're going to look at the eclipse that is coming up this Saturday. This is a solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Aries. This is an Aries rising chart. I have it set for Washington, D.C. And I have to say that I'm not 100% confident that this chart is set correctly based on daylight savings time. I'm pretty sure that this is accurate, though. But so we've got the moon and the sun at 9 degrees of Aries, and this is an Aries rising chart ruled by Mars. And so Mars and the moon are in what's called mutual reception. But Mars is not happy in Cancer, but because the moon is in Aries, it's being helped out a little bit because of that mutual reception. But Mars is ruling this chart, ruling the eclipse. And Mars, well, who is Mars? Mars is naturally just, you want to think about fighters, right? You want to think about heat, but he's in Cancer, which is a wet sign. So you think of frustration and you think of having your efforts thwarted. In the fourth house, but with the 5-degree rule, he is in the fifth house. So the fifth house, but both the fourth and the fifth are ruled by the moon. And the fifth house is the house of agents and children. And so if you think about like possibly, or a youthful, Mars is youthful, Aries is definitely youthful, youthful, or somebody that doesn't have any experience in the position of being a diplomat or an agent in a country that they have no connection, because Mars is in fall in Cancer. And so, you know, the moon is in Mars sign, but Mars is in this sign that's the moon's, and it just doesn't get along there very well. So this could represent some people being like people representing us or representing the people, the moon, and just not representing us in the best light because they're in fall, they're not equipped for the job that they're doing. We all can think of many situations that could represent. So that is impacting not only the first house, which is our well-being, but it's also the eighth house, which is the money of others. So you might think about um, the Social Security system. You might think about just the investments and the stock market, things that where you've contributed to the money, you don't have it anymore. Somebody else is in control of it. And so again, Mars as the agent of that money is not in a good place. So things are not being managed very well in this eclipse. Now, eclipses are solar eclipses, which this one is when the moon passes in front of the sun and blocks out the leader, because the sun always represents the leader, the president. Now, could that be like the resistance? It could be, or it could be the bad actors that are not knowing what they're doing and then stepping into the power position and controlling the president. Like the position that we're in right now with everything. Oh, it's like I can't watch the news because it just stresses me out. The other thing about this chart is that the 12th house of self-undoing has a lot of energy in it. And it's ruled by Saturn because Aquarius is on the cusp and Saturn is in the 12th house. What are we doing? What is being done that is like we're kicking ourselves in the butt, or, you know, we're cutting off our nose to spite our face as a country? And I can see plenty of that in the news if you watch it or if you pay any attention to anything anywhere. But in this chart, we can see Neptune is so close to Aries. It's at 2957. Neptune is going to be going into Aries for the first time in 165 years on the 30th. So the day after this eclipse happens. So there, that seed point is significant. Now, the aspect that no one is talking about, whoops, so Augie, are you okay? I'm sorry. Neptune plays a big part of this. So I want to switch then to the next lunation, which is, so that was a 9-degree Aries new moon, and then the moon and the sun both go around. And so now this is the full moon when the moon gets to Libra. And this again is set for Washington, D.C. And so now Scorpio is on the ascendant, again, ruled by Mars. And Mars is the most elevated planet in this chart in the 9th house of foreign affairs and of the judicial system. It's still in Cancer, it's still in fall. And Cancer is intercepted in this chart. So there's a sense of being in a room without a door or within a place that is not accessible. So if you think of the seed planted at the eclipse, now that agent has gone to a foreign country and is in behind closed doors. But here, the aspect that I've been talking about that nobody else is talking about, Neptune is at 0 degrees and 29 minutes of Aries. Now, Pluto is at 3 degrees and 42 minutes. Uranus is at 25 degrees and 20 minutes. So if we add 25 and 3, we get 28. And if we add 20 and 42, we get 62. So that's 29 minutes, or 29 degrees and 2 minutes of equaling an aspect, like equaling what's called an antiscia, or this one would be actually a contra-antiscia, because it's coming to the midpoint being 0 degrees of Aries. The midpoint of Uranus and Pluto is 0 degrees of Aries. And guess what's sitting on 0 degrees of Aries is Neptune. So the 3 outer planets, they may not look like by degrees that they are in communication, but with this contra-antiscia, which is considered a secret opposition. So Uranus and Pluto are in a secret opposition, the midpoint of Neptune of 0 degrees Aries. And then when we look at the Taurus new moon, then 26 and 3 is 29, and then 8 and 48 is 56. So it's 29:56. So then it's within 4 minutes of being exact. But Neptune has moved, well, it's still within the degree. So that's very, very, very close. Still within a degree of Neptune being the midpoint between, but this anticial relationship of the opposition. And so I think, and this is the end of April, and so I really do believe that we're going to be getting a preview of what Dan Waits and S.J. Anderson call the basket, which is going to happen in 2026. I don't know if you understand, if you've seen either Dan Waits or S.J. Anderson or their videos together where they talk about when Pluto here in Aquarius will be in sextile to Neptune, which is an opportunity aspect. It's like an invitation to Neptune in Aries, and then Uranus will be in Gemini then. And so Neptune is then offering the invitation to Uranus. And then at that time, Jupiter is going to be in early degrees of Leo, I think. So there'll be the Gemini to Leo aspect as well. And so it'll be opposite Pluto, and then sextile, sextile, sextile. So this aspect that nobody else is talking about for April is the contra-antiscia, which is a secret opposition with Neptune as the midpoint. And so I have a few books that I wanted to talk about because, okay, Anne-Marie, great. Those are a lot of planets. You're using a lot of words, blah. What does it mean? And so this book is The Combination of Stellar Influences by Reinhold Ebertin. And it takes planetary combinations. And so the first thing is you look at two planets that are combined. So I'm looking at Uranus and Pluto because they're the two that are coming into the contra-antiscia. And so the principle of the two energies of Uranus and Pluto is the process of transformation, collapse of the old order, and construction of the new, revolution. Psychological correspondences would be restlessness, activity, creative energy, the fight to establish innovations and reforms, strong awareness of purpose and of objective, mobility, creative power, untiring effort, and endurance. The negative psychological correspondences would be impatience, tendency to scatter one's energies, fanaticism, one-sidedness, violence, precipitate action, mania of destruction, daring and foolhardy, tendency to strive for new things, extraordinary powers of creation and performance. So probable manifestations would be, in a positive light, it would be attainment of great objectives by an immense application of effort, bringing new things into being, creation of new conditions of living. On the negative side, acts of violence, upsets, subversive activities, putting the gun to someone's head, enforcement of decisions, and accidents. So that's Uranus and Pluto. If we throw Neptune into the mix, because Neptune is the midpoint between those two planets, sympathetic understanding of other people, knowledge of human nature, deep study of a subject of special interest, the inclination to delve into the supernatural realms, insecurity and uncertainty, unfulfilled wishes, fatigue, nervous diseases, or neuroses. So that's what Reinhold Ebertin has to say about it. So it's a lot, I know. And I hope I'm going to put in some good visuals there to make it sink in a little bit more. But I really hope that these great astrologers that I watch and listen to and read are going to talk about this, because I really think that we're getting a preview. We're getting a preview in April of what's going to be coming in 2026. It could be the start of the thing. It could be the thing. It could be some sort of devastating thing, shocking moment, transformative, delusional, just like the cloud that comes over and causes the storm. And then when the basket fully forms in 2026, that will be the resolution, possibly. I don't know. But like I said, I hope those that know a whole lot more about this stuff than I do are looking into it. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.